Look closely. This was the moment in history, the year 1947, when one of the greatest archaeological discoveries of all time was made. Hidden in the caves near the Dead Sea lay ancient scrolls that would shake the foundations of biblical history. The Dead Sea Scrolls. It is said that the Vatican kept these scrolls hidden from the world for years. But why? What secret could be so powerful that even the church might have wanted to keep it buried? It all began in 1947, in the arid cliffs near the northwestern shore of the Dead Sea, in a place called Qumran, about 20 miles east of Jerusalem. A young Bedouin shepherd named Muhammad Dib was tending his goats, moving across the rocky terrain under the blazing desert sun. As evening approached, he realized that one of his goats had gone missing. Searching the area, he came across a narrow opening in the limestone cliffs. Thinking his goat might have taken shelter inside, he picked up a few stones and tossed them into the dark cave. But instead of the sound of movement, what he heard was the crash of breaking pottery echoing from within. Curious, Muhammad crawled inside the cave. What he found would change the course of biblical history forever. Inside the cave were several large clay jars, some still sealed, others cracked with age. Inside one of the jars were bundles of leather and papyrus scrolls, carefully wrapped in linen. The air inside was dry, the environment still, and the linen wrapping had preserved these scrolls for nearly 2,000 years, untouched since around the time of Jesus. Not realizing their value, Muhammad and his companions took a few scrolls and carried them back to their camp. Later, they sold them to a local antique dealer in Bethlehem, named Kando. From there, the scrolls passed through several hands, until they reached archaeologists and scholars, who instantly recognized their immense historical and religious significance. Soon, further exploration of the Qumran region began. Between 1947 and 1956, a total of 11 caves were excavated, revealing thousands of scroll fragments belonging to about 900 manuscripts. These manuscripts included copies of nearly every book of the Old Testament, except Esther, along with other Jewish writings, prayers, community rules, and commentaries. The dry desert air and the isolation of the caves had created the perfect conditions for preservation, making these scrolls the oldest known biblical manuscripts in existence, dating from around 250 BCE to 70 CE. This discovery not only reshaped our understanding of ancient Judaism, but also provided powerful evidence for the reliability of the Hebrew Scriptures. From a lost goat to one of the greatest archaeological finds of the 20th century, the discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls remains a timeless reminder that even buried in the sands of time, God's word endures forever. Now let's move to the big question. Did the Vatican really hide the Dead Sea Scrolls? When the church learned about the discovery, they formed a team to begin the excavation of the site. Among them was a Catholic priest and archaeologist, Father Roland de Vaux, the man who led the first official excavation at Qumran. And here's where the mystery began. For years, the Vatican was accused of hiding the Dead Sea Scrolls. And all those suspicions started because of just one name, Father Roland de Vaux. People began to ask, this is an archaeological site, so what's a priest doing there? This connection, a priest leading the research, does it mean the Vatican was secretly involved? As time went on, these questions grew louder. For many years, access to the scrolls was tightly restricted. Only a small group of scholars, many of them Christian, were allowed to study them. Publications were delayed, and as a result, rumors began to spread. People said, maybe the scrolls contain writings that could challenge traditional Christian beliefs. Maybe the church doesn't want the world to know what's really inside. But when the scrolls were finally released to the public in the 1990s, the truth came out. They contained no hidden secrets about Jesus or the early church. Only ancient Jewish writings, prayers, and prophecies that actually confirmed how faithfully the scriptures had been preserved for centuries. The truth was clear. The Vatican never directly controlled the Dead Sea Scrolls. The long delay in publishing them was not the result of a global conspiracy, but of academic secrecy and slow research work. And today, every single fragment of the Dead Sea Scrolls has been digitally scanned and made available online, free for anyone in the world to read and study. No secrets, no cover-up, just history finally revealed. So, did the Vatican really hide the Dead Sea Scrolls? No, But history shows how mystery, religion, and silence can create stories more powerful than truth itself. These ancient words, buried in desert caves for 2,000 years, remind us that no truth stays hidden forever. If you found this story fascinating, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more hidden history and biblical mysteries. Thanks for watching, and may God bless you.